I mean, in position c betting, I still want to get this score up to green, right? Like that's one way of looking at, you know, if you need to work on something. If you see that, you know, you started a bunch of drills and you practice the drills and you see that there's one drill that you just keep getting wrong, that's the one you should probably work on. All right, so button versus big blind. Classic in position single raise pots. Jack high board. Jack high boards and queen high boards are kind of tricky for me, I think, because generally you can have all of the options. You can have 33, 50, 75, and even 125. So I always struggle here, but I'm gonna go 33 this time. Yeah, there's always multiple options on these like 10 high through queen high boards with like two other cards disconnected. Queen 6-4. So this is a scenario where I think, again, same idea, right? Queen high board, we can have all the options. I'm going to go for a small bet again for this one. But yeah, can go 50, can go 75, can check back. Queen 6-4 deuce on the turn. Not a great turn for us. That's probably favoring villain, because not only do most bricks favor villain, but also the deuce making a straight and two pair combos that we don't have favors the villain. So I think we can have a decent amount of checking back here. Otherwise, I would want to go something like 75 or 125. I'm going to check back, rolling a 92. So good check back here. It looks like we either want to go 175 or 250 even. Interesting. I guess this is just kind of one of those scenarios where villain has a really good turn card for their range, and we want to be very polar for betting. Maybe. Let's see. Let's bring this up. So this is an interesting scenario. I don't use a 250 sizing. I only use a 125 sizing for simplicity's sakes, but I do kind of want to understand how to use this 250 sizing in position, because you don't really see it very much from other players, right? So looking at this strategy for the button on the turn, can I move my head down a little bit? Let's see. No. That's all right. I guess I could put my head up on the top right. Would that be better? I guess that would be better for so you guys can see the whole hand matrix when I'm studying, right? Let me know. Do you guys want top right or bottom left? I feel like bottom left is just more natural to look at, but if I'm blocking too much of the hand matrix, then it's better to just have it on the top right. So yeah, the overall strategy here is in fact a lot of checking back on that deuce turn. This is something I'm probably not doing enough of, honestly, like checking back with strong hands on turn, because that is such a bad hand. Like look how often we're checking back Queen X, and we're not checking back aces and kings and this part of the range. However, we are checking back the lesser best hands. So the bottom of our best hands region. Should I use that word from now on? Region. Hey, Drawing Dead coming in with 4 months. Thank you very much, and welcome back to the expedition. Oh wait, no, sorry. Screen. Drawing Dead posted right below screen. Screen. NL, thank you very much for the sub. Really appreciate that. Welcome back for 4 months to the expedition. Thank you, thank you. Drawing Dead almost took your credit there. Hey, Chip. How's it going today? It's up, Sad Tennis Man. GTO Noob. How you guys doing today? All right. We're going to have a good day today. This is my new mindset coaching. You can sign up for $500 an hour, and all I will tell you is that it's going to be a good day today. That's it. That's all. All right. Yeah, so the bottom of our best hands range, that's going to be pretty high frequency check here. So yeah, checking back 9-8 suited, really nice. And then if it goes check on the river, maybe we would start bluffing our 9 high combos and stuff like that. But instead, they go ahead and bet. But it looks like we can turn our hand into a bluff. Now, this is actually getting interesting because there's a couple of things going on. First of all, the king is a good card for us, right? This is a good river card for us. Thinking about Salo's video that we watched yesterday, are we blocking their weekends, right? I don't think 9s and 8s are going to bet large here. I think they're going to be fairly polarized to having a strong queen or king. And then what are their bluffs? Their bluffs are going to be something like 7-8. 5-7, probably not ace high very often. Are they going to turn a 4 into a bluff? I don't think so. This surprises me that I'm raising this hand though. Let's dive deeper and figure out why. Why am I raising 9-8? Maybe it has a lot to do with blocking king 9 suited and king 8 suited, which would be part of their value range on the river. And we're unblocking folds when they have a queen. That's my best guess right now, but let's take a look at the solve. So 9-8 suited does in fact love to raise river. It's interesting. 9-8 suited. One of the few combos to do it too, actually. So it looks like there's a trend here with a 9. I'm wondering, I guess we can raise king 4. What are our best hands considered? Ace king, king queen. So king jack seems to be like the bottom of our best hands here. So then our trash hands are 9-8, 9-6, 8-6. So we are turning a 4 into a bluff some of the time. That's interesting. Same thing with a deuce, same thing with an ace. Ace 3. Now let's look at, after raising the sizing, why we want to have a 9 or an ace in our hand. So here's their best hands. It looks like what I was saying earlier is correct. They're going to have king 9 and king 8 of spades, which we're blocking. Why the ace 4 though? Is that just going to be the like threshold for making them indifferent, just having that hand? What's folding? So they're going to bet fold hands like this, queen jack and queen 10, in which case 8-9 is unblocking the 10 or the jack. So that's good. Their bluffs are going to look like, I guess, jack high and 10 high, like in this region here. So something like floated backdoor hearts is going to bluff, but also some missed spades, which we are blocking with the 9-8s of spades, which is why it's a little concerning. Why is 9-8 of spades in there? Is it just because it's just part of our weakest hands that we have in our range? It's possible. Like, I guess we don't have too many more trash hands that are worse. 9 high on a 6 board. We can't really have too much 7 high other than 7-8, I guess. But then you would expect to see that reflected in the strategy somewhere, right? but it's just a pure fold. So why? I guess the 9 is just blocking the king 9 and the king 8. I don't know. That's weird. Yeah, we're just gonna go back to that thought that we're just blocking these hands. I guess it's blocking enough value. Interesting though, because that's not something a lot you typically think of, right? You think of, oh my God, my draw missed. I'm always folding here, right? You're not thinking, oh, I'm going to check back the turn because that's a bad card for our range, and we need to start mixing some checkbacks. And then this is a good river for us to come out with a raise on the river, right? You're not thinking like that usually in this scenario. You're thinking, oh, my draw bricked and that's it. So interesting spot. How about 500 points an hour instead? That's actually a funny idea. We should make that a channel point redemption where if someone redeems their points, I just tell them that they're going to have a good day. I kind of like that. Should we try that? Hold on. Let me hold on. Actually, here, I'll wait till you guys tell me if it's a good idea or not. So it'll cost like 5,000 channel points. And if someone redeems it, I'm just going to tell them that they're going to have a good day. That's basically it. And it'll be titled Mental Game Coaching. If not, we can just make that a command in chat, and that would be probably just as funny. But I kind of like the channel points redemption because someone's going to be like, what the heck is this? And then they redeem it, and I tell them they're going to have a good day. And then they're like, oh, that's it. All right. This was actually a really cool hand. I like this. I like this. There's a lot of interesting theory in there, which is counterintuitive to, like, I think if you're on autopilot and you just play hands, you won't catch that. Ace Jack 7, so button versus big blind. So like those are the spots also that you're going to really see if you're playing one table. But if you're playing two tables and you're clicking other buttons and you're not deep thinking in that spot, you're just going to totally miss it and fold most of the time. At least I would anyway. I think most of you would too. I don't think it's a heads up play for most people to find those bluffs with 9-8 of spades in that scenario. Ace Jack 7. I think we can large bet, over bet, check. And that's it. I'm going to large bet this time. Nice. So yeah, over bet, large bet, or check. We're not going to use a small bet here. 10-7-4 versus the big blind. So I think we can have, again, all the sizings on a 10 high board, but with all of the straight draws out there, I think we're probably going to go either small or medium, so 33 or 50. And we can also have a check. So I think I like check with this hand. Going to check, but we can also, yes, use 33, 50, and even 75. So one heuristic that I recently relearned was like if there's a lot of straight draws out there, it's going to be better for the out of position player in this scenario. But yeah, so we can even have overbet. We can literally have every option here on the flop that I use. So small, medium, large, and overbet. Tricky. This seems to rock around you, rock all night, it's tricky. I hope that's all stuck in your head now for the rest of the day. Okay, check back. Call. Nope, yeah. Do I have a raise here? No, just call. River, yikes. So against the sizing, I think we always call, but if they had gone large on river, I probably would have had a tough decision. Oh, wow, okay. Fancy play over there by the big blind. I'm kind of curious though if they had gone large on river, which is kind of what most people do in game. I don't see very many players using small. Like once they bet turn, they don't divide their range up. They either just go like large or check. So they don't have that little small bet gear that the solver has. So let's say the big blind went large. So something like 61. What is nines going to be indifferent to calling here? Maybe. Yeah, nines is just indifferent to calling here. Okay. A6 offsuit, Jack 10, 8. This seems like a pure check to me. Damn, there is a small bet frequency. Yeah, so hands like this that are just really bad, I guess the solver doesn't mind just betting once and seeing how it goes. Turn, this is where I always make mistakes because I'm not sure the frequency of betting the turn. We're blocking their folding range, right? We're blocking their like 6-6 combos. We're blocking their weak ace X, which is going to fold turn. So I think we're checking this back. And then river is an easy fold. Did we get bloofed? We did, I think. One thing I want to look at is also if I do bet the flop, would I ever turn ace high into a bluff, right? Like let's say we go check, bet, call, turn rando card. Hey, look at that. It's the same card that actually came out. Check. What are we doing with ace-6 offsuit now? Without any heart or spade. Diamond club is checking, which is what we had. Okay. But if we even have a heart, we're going hard. We're going hard. We're going hard with the heart. With some overbets, some large bets. So as long as I have some relevant blocker with the ace-6, it looks like we are in fact going to continue the betting. This is a good card for us though. It might be one of the best cards for us. Let's try a brick and see what the strategy is then. So only with the spade does it look like we come alive still with the ace-6 off. Everything else we're just going to give up. That makes sense. I like that. Yeah. So one of the things about, you know, continuing on the turn isn't just whether or not you have equity, but how the card helps your range, right? So even though we don't have any equity on the flop really, other than an overcard, we can still fire a lot of good turns for us. We can fire a king, we can hit the overcard, we can hit whatever card is good for our range, right? So like in this scenario, I think a queen would probably be good for our range too. That maybe we can start turning into a bluff. Let's see. I don't know, like a queen of clubs. Like, are we going to be able to turn our ace-6 into a bluff? Yes, we are. Look at that. And we're even going to go 250 bet. Holy. So I guess because villain can't have ace-king and we can, we start using some of the worst possible ace-x combos that we have in our range as a bluff. A lot of our ace-x is actually overbetting here, really large with the queen turn. This is a scary line. This is a scary line. Are we going to just ship it on the river with like all of our weak ace-x? Like, what are we doing on the river here? Okay, we're giving up a lot. That's more comforting because if we were going to have to triple barrel all of our weak ace-x, we'd be in trouble. It just picks and chooses, it seems like the weakest ace-x here of our range to go all in. This is something I'm not going to see. I'm not going to see this in game. I don't think any player is going to take this line, but it totally makes sense. You know, we have a really close to 0 EV hand on the turn here. Why not turn it into a bluff? Right? And then if we do go all in, are they ever supposed to call like an ace something? Yeah, they have like, we're blocking an ace-9 combo, which is nice, at least. And we're probably unblocking all of their folds, right? They're supposed to fold all of their 2-pair combos. They're supposed to fold all of their 1-pair plus draw combos. So like we're unblocking all of the big folds that they're going to make here. And we're blocking some of the nuts that they're going to call, right? Ace-9 is... Okay, this goes deep. So the ace-9 combo is good for calling because not only does it have a straight, but it also blocks the ace-king combo. So some of the time we have the ace combo that blocks their blockers to our ace-king, right? So I think we were talking about that from the quiz yesterday that we were looking at for the giraffe quiz, right? They talked about having, if you remove the ability of villain to have the nuts, is it still relevant to use the nut blocker? Right? Was the conversation. And this is a good example of, like, let's say they never have ace king, which they don't. Well, what is villain going to have to call with if they don't have ace king? They're going to have to call with their 9x. And more importantly, they're going to have to call with their 9x that also blocks my nuts of ace king. So that means ace 9 and king 9 are two prime bluff catchers for villain. So blocking those hands by the river is really 4-5 head of the solver to overbet 250 and then shove, because we're blocking their calls by the river. Very sick hand. Very cool spot. I like this one. All right. And we just got all of this by drilling single raise pots button versus big blind, or under the gun versus big blind, right? So, like, really cool that we can see these situations come up. All right. Next hand, ace 9-3 rainbow. This is going to be, I think, a high frequency c bet for us. So I'm just going to go for it from under the gun. We have a pretty strong range. This is going to be a texture that I think we just have a high frequency of c-bets. It's a fairly disconnected rainbow board with an ace on it. Going to smash our range a lot of the time. So yeah, we got like a 70% c-bet here. And we get check raised. Just a fold. I don't think we're doing anything fancy. Maybe we have some kind of like 3-bet if we had the suited combo or something, but I think this is just going to be a pure fold. What do we 3-bet with here as a bluff, right? Are we going to pick the pairs? Are we going to pick like 9-8 suited? Are we going to pick like 10-9 suited? Are we going to pick like, you know, a weak ace? Or are we going to pick like some jack 10 of hearts or like king queen of hearts or something? Like, what are we going to choose here if we do get check raised for the large size and then we come in with the 3-bet? Are we going to even have a 3-bet range? We don't even have a 3-bet range. That makes more sense because this is such a dry board. A lot of our continuing range is going to be these ace-x combos, but we don't want to really shovel money into this pot because villain is basically saying, hey, look, I have at least 2 pair plus for my value range. So it's kind of hard for us to really like 3-bet against that combo, or sorry, against that range. Makes sense that we don't have that 3-bet range there. Cool. Wait, what did they have? I missed it. 9-8 suited. Okay, so they had the 9-8 suited. That's cool. They're going to have that at a frequency, of course. Jack 4-2 from under the gun versus big blind. This is a spot where I would just probably pure check. This is one of those hands that just doesn't have much equity, but I think we're going to see this have a like 10 to 20% c-bet frequency just because it doesn't play well as a check back either. So let's check here. Wow, this is a higher frequency than I would have thought. So 70% c-bet with this combo. So it's actually maybe the opposite where we just don't have that much equity and the solver wants to just start betting these combos here. This is a fairly high c-bet board to start with from under the gun, but it looks like the diamonds combos are the least ones to be c-bet, but it doesn't shy away from c-betting the weakest parts of our range here. So if you look at the trash hands, oh, I guess it's considered a weak hand. King higher ace high is a weak hand right now. But yeah, looking at the weak hands, all of the diamonds are going to mix a small bet here, even without much equity. Okay, I can dig it. We are going to check here and then just fold turn though. So like, again, what if we c-bet the flop, they call, turns let's say a brick, like a 7. What are we doing with king 9 of diamonds now? Are we ever turning this into a bluff, blocking like king jack and stuff? Oops. The answer is yes. Sometimes we're just ripping in an overbet. We're just ripping in an overbet or a large bet here sometimes. See, this is another thing that I just don't think I'm being aggressive enough on with my in position strategy. I need to be overbetting here sometimes. And then what happens if the river bricks, right? Like what happens if we just see an offsuit, I don't know, like an offsuit deuce, the ultimate brick. We got to be careful with selecting our bluffs too, but we don't block spades, right? So is king nine just gonna get in there? It is. It's gonna get in there sometimes. It's gonna go 150 or it's gonna give up. So it's not pure bluffing river. It is giving up sometimes, but it does have some good blocking properties here, right? We're blocking king jack and jack nine suited, two combos that villain's going to have probably for calling the river. If we look at their call range, we'll see they're going to have king jack. So we block this combo, we block this combo. Does the 9 do anything? We do block 9-2 suited in theory. That is a thing. Okay, and then more importantly, let's look at some of the folds. Do we unblock? Ooh, jack 9 is folding. It's a sliver of call though with the diamond, so maybe not terrible blocking that one, but yeah, we do unblock all of these. This, these, that, those, this. Yeah. So we're unblocking a decent amount of villain's range. And we're blocking the important king jack, jack 9, 9 deuce, which was also a raise. So we can be more aggressive with air in our strategy from under the gun. I have to remember that. From the button, it might be more of a check back, right? So if we take the same scenario and we apply it to the button, that's going to shift our strategy a lot. So let's try it. Let's try it out. Jack 4-2 on the flop. Jack 2 of spades. So now we have king 9 of diamonds. I feel like it's going to be a much higher check frequency, right? We have a wider range. We're going to pick and choose our combos a lot better. So yeah, so you can see here, we have way more of a check frequency with the king 9 of diamonds. So under the gun, you know, it's a tighter range. You have a big advantage on a lot of different textures. You're going to be c-betting more often with your trash hands. You're going to have to take those trash hands, turn them into some bluffs at a frequency, be aggressive. That's the lesson there. All right, we're going to do one more and then we're going to wrap up and we're going to get into the games. Queen 3-2, going to c-bet. High frequency under the gun. Again, we got this under the gun scenario. This is a queen high board, pretty, you know, rainbow heavy. There are some straight draws with the 3-2, which hit the big blind. So I think small bet or half pot is going to be the choice here. Going to go small this time. Is this a spot where we're going to just c-bet at a really high frequency? I think so, with the queen high rainbow. Disconnected board. I think we just have a lot of strength here from under the gun. That is true. We are going to be betting about 73% of the time. And yeah, this is going to be part of it. We have some backdoor wraps. We block some, you know, check raises with our king of hearts. Okay, so again, now we get to the turn with kind of an air combo. We have a king of hearts, which is relevant because some of the floats are going to be king of hearts combos, right? They can float like king 10, king jack of hearts for sure. So we're blocking those, which are going to continue on the turn. So that's good. I think we're going to go for the overbet here. I think this is one of those scenarios now that we just learned that we need to have some of our air combos here for an overbet. However, this isn't doing a super great job of blocking all of the queen jack combos, right? Because we have the jack of spades. We'd rather have the jack of diamonds or the jack of clubs here. But I still think we can maybe put in an overbet here. We can put in the overbet. That's fine, low frequency, but the solver wants to use the 75% bet with this roll. So, but it's fine. It's fine that we use the overbet here. And then I was planning on bluffing a lot. Oh, folded too soon, bot. You folded too soon. You would have got there. But yeah, so if the heart came off, I think my strategy would be to bluff most of the hearts with this hand. And then if a brick comes off, be careful with over bluffing river, because again, we would have rather chose the combo that had no spade for bluffing. So let's say they call rivers a brick. What's a brick? Let's say the 8 of clubs. That's pretty dang bricky. Check under the gun. So we're going to, what are we doing with king jack offsuit? So yeah, like I said, you see the king of hearts, jack of diamonds, that one's going to be in there for bluffing. However, my combo, the king of hearts, jack of, what did I say? I had spades. Okay, that one is bluffing too. So I guess it's not detrimental enough to have the jack of spades in our hands to fold, because assumably they still have queen jack offsuit, right? So I still am effectively blocking queen jack if I do bet this 84, and I think we might see that. Yeah, queen jack offsuit still in their range, so the jack of spades is still doing work against the calling range. And are we blocking any other significant things with a jack? I don't think so. But blocking, you know, king queen, obviously great. So having a king in our hand, blocking king queen, blocking queen jack with our jack. Those are two big combos out of their range. You can see the range isn't that, you know, isn't that wide by the river. Excuse me. All right, so that's going to wrap it up for this study session. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you like this study session, I will be posting more on YouTube. So subscribe and turn on your notifications. See you in the next one.